Rocha is the current president of the Portuguese Society of Relativity and Gravitation, and it's in that quality, but not only that, we've invited him to also participate in this session. So, Jorge, it's great to see you. I know you are on a tight schedule, so without further ado, let's move on with your contribution. Thank you very much.
Hi, Carlos. Hi, everyone there at Aveiro. Can you hear me? Oh.
Yes.
Can I perhaps share my slides with you? I prepared something.
I guess you can.
So, okay. Can you?
We can see slides. Not
slides?
full. Shall I do something
just a
like
second.
this?
There's too many windows up here. Yeah. So can you see this right?
Yes, we can see it. Please go. Okay. Please go on. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So well, good morning, everyone. It's a real honor to be here in this celebration. It's a great celebration. So I have a big thank you to make to especially to Carlos, but to a whole bunch of friends that I consider friends, the people that are in Aveiro. So Miguel Zalhão, Pedro Cunha, etc. Eugene Radu also. So I'm on a tight schedule indeed. So I have to be brief. There would be a lot of things to say. I decided to keep this presentation more so my role will be as the current director of the Portuguese Society of Relativity and Gravitation. So the presentation will have more of a historical perspective related to that. Okay. So clearly the image which I think you now have wearing on your T-shirts, right, Carlos?
Yes, that's right. Yes, and we'll keep
I'm pretty sure it's. Thank you. It's I'm pretty sure it's inspired on the persistence of memory, I guess. Right?
Correct.
It's a beautiful idea, and I noticed that there's some Easter eggs here, right? Celebrating the three topics that we are celebrating today. Well, I think the best way to celebrate science, so the 110 years of general relativity and the 10 years since the first detection of gravitational waves, is by doing science. And there's nothing better than being there, and the rest of the presentations will surely discuss that in length. So I will restrict to some more personal touch related to Grav and myself, my connections to Grav. So the 15th year celebration anniversary of the Grav. So I look back my archives, and I think my first official visit to Grav was in 2011 in the fall. So roughly 1 year after it was created. And well, I was giving a talk on, well, you can see that this is quite old, right? I was talking about black rings at the time. And I was still using Beamer also. So that shows you how long ago it was. But what I found at the time was, well, at the time, a small group. It was like half a dozen people, perhaps. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But it was clearly a very active group, a very active, a very welcoming group, a very supportive group, friendly, interested in a lot of topics, and interesting in the topics that Grav was working on. So that was something that persisted through the years. Shortly after, so a few months later, 1 month later, I think, something like that, in Aveiro, it was organized the 4th edition of the Black Holes Workshop. So here's the poster of that conference, and here's a picture, the group picture taken at the time, where you can see several of the Grav members there. I see Carlos, I see Jorge Rocha, I see Miguel Zalhão, I see Marco Sampaio. Maybe I'm missing 1 or 2 people. I see Carmen Rebelo back there, etc. And so this was a series of conferences, of workshops that actually Carlos had created earlier on when he was in Porto. But since then, 4 more of these meetings have been organized in Aveiro, and I think I speak for everyone. They were all huge successes. You can see also from the picture that at the time, we didn't have like 100 participants like we have nowadays. So also the Black Holes Workshop has been growing significantly, and a lot of it due to the work of the Aveiro group. So Grave is also heavily involved with the Portuguese Society in Relativity and Gravitation. Carlos himself was one of the founders of the society. So that happened in 2015, and it was announced in 2014, precisely at the Black Hole Workshop that preceded the creation of this society. But it's not just Carlos that has been involved, although he has been involved, I think, ininterruptedly since the beginning. Am I correct?
I guess you are correct, yes, but that will cease in the next term, yes.
That will probably cease next term. But it has been a real pleasure, and well, you have been driving. I must say, you have been driving the society. You have been steering it through its 10 years of existence. So the society is also celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. But it was not just Carlos, also other members of the group, and Miguel Zilhão and Pedro Cunha have been involved. They are members of the society and members of the board recently. Not only that, the group has been heavily involved in outreach activities, science dissemination. It's very active in that front, and that is, well, it is a pleasure to see that, honestly. And I want to remind that recently, well, the 10th anniversary of the first detection of gravitational waves was celebrated. It was celebrated with an event that was organized in Aveiro, in Lisbon, and in Porto simultaneously. And well, the Aveiro group really boosted the event, and here are some pictures from that day. So I need to really wrap up. I'm sorry for the very brief communication, but it has to be. So what I see is that in these 15 years that have passed since the inception of Grav, the group has grown a lot. It experienced many e-foldings, a lot of e-foldings, but the activeness, the interest of the group has not diluted with the expansion, which is super important. If only it has grown actually. The Grav group is clearly a beacon for the Portuguese community in gravity and cosmology. I mean, it's a group that is considered among the junior researchers as a source of information, a source of collaborations for sure. And not only that, it also has a very big international impact. It's really a scientific driving force internationally. So with that, I want to finish. I want to thank you all for these 15 years since I've known you, some of you for less than 15 years, of course. It's really a pleasure, and I'm looking forward for the next 15 years. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Jorge, for the kind words and this travel down memory lane, and emphasizing a lot of things that we also consider important. We'll also keep a group T-shirt for you, which indeed has these motifs of Salvador Dali. This was designed by Pedro with the help of some artificial intelligence, but clearly taking some ideas from the great painter. And indeed, with some hidden motives, as you've found out. So thank you very much. I know that you are on the tight schedule, so I'll let you go to your lectures. And without further ado, we can continue now